Alright, I'm gonna be taking out the CFMOTO NK300 for a quick ride. So once you start the bike up, you'll still continue to see the ABS light flashing for some reason. Once you start riding, it'll go away. I put it into gear. I want to show you the clutch lever. It feels real wiggly over here for some reason. It feels like it's probably missing a washer. I tried tightening it up, but it's just real loose. I don't know why, but it engages. So that's another annoying thing about it. You'll see the ABS light. Once I start riding, it'll go off. See, there you go, it's gone. Alright, the NK300 has two riding modes. There's Eco and Sport. When I initially got the bike, a lot of people stated that it just changed the way the screen looked. There is a difference. Once I put it in Eco, the screen changes, but I feel like everything just settles down on the bike. Versus when I have it on Sport, you hear it rattle a little bit more than usual. So there is a difference between Eco and Sport. These mirrors that I have on here, these are from my Honda Grom. They worked great on the Honda Grom, not so great on the CFMOTO. The CFMOTO mirrors you can hardly see. I thought by switching over to the Grom mirrors it make a difference, but once you get up in speed you could hardly see anything out of them. Once you slow down you can see really good from these mirrors, but anything above 50 miles per hour you kind of lose the mirrors. Happened to me several times is when I'm at a light like this just waiting, I go to rev the engine to kind of get it, you know, started and about to put it into gear. I've got, there you go, that crank noise. It does that all the time. It'll start back up, but look, it did it while I was here waiting. So not sure what that is, but by just revving the engine it'll make that crank noise and the bike will shut off. So the sun's not out now, it feels real cool out here. The heat temp, you got 2 bars and it usually will fluctuate between 3 and 4, like it goes high. When I initially got it, it was missing some antifreeze. I put it in, but on the hotter days you'll see that jump around a lot. That had me worried for a while, but it's never overheated on me, so it's not a big concern, but I've always kept an eye on it. I'm at work and the sun's been hitting it for a while and I start this thing up. For some reason it starts making a whining noise. My Can-Am Ryker, when it was hot out, the fuel pump seemed to whine like it was overworking itself, and it almost feels like this is doing the same exact thing when it's really hot out. The suspension on this bike is super stiff, especially the front. Like when I come to a stop like this, it'll go down and it stays down. There's no rebound. When I go to take off, you'll feel it like come back up. So yeah, the suspension is not great. That might be what's going on in the front, that these mirrors just vibrate so much. I don't know. I don't feel it on the handlebars. It's just probably like more of an internal thing. Yeah, that's what's going on with the suspension. Like it'll go down and it's like you got to pull it back up and down. It's an affordable bike. Would this be my only bike? No. I like the fact that it was my third bike versus it being my only bike. I wouldn't consider this as my first bike, especially an inexperienced rider with that whole crank noise and shutting off, the suspension, the way it feels. A more experienced rider will probably have a little bit more fun with it. An inexperienced rider is going to buy something like this and want to move on up, and this is probably going to be a harder sell. CFMOTO is not quite up there yet with the 4 big brands. I would probably steer away from this being my first bike. Now, would I buy it again? For the right price, I think I would. Just because it's fun. Would I put my teenage son on it to ride and practice? Nah. I was scared of letting him ride the Honda Grom because of the gear shifter, but I feel more confident in the Grom than I do on this for him to take this out on the road. Even though this thing handles nice, I think the Grom will be a lot easier for him to learn on.